Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scott Selections here for Wednesday, August 21st. Before we get into today's play of the day, we'll quickly recap what happened yesterday. Mixed bag of results yesterday as we ended up sweeping on the leans. However, we ended up losing on the play of the day with the Cubs over 5.5 team total at minus 125 on 5 dimes. Unfortunately, that was kind of a heartbreaker as they ended up scoring 3 runs in the first 3 innings. They stranded 10 people on base, went 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position, and the Cubs ended up only scoring 5 runs. I swear they had about first and third or second and third, maybe 2 or 3 times, and they were unable to score any runs on any of those occasions. But you had, what do we have? We had 3 solo home runs and an RBI single by Lucroy, and then a sac fly. Unfortunately, that wasn't good enough for the Cubs to cash on the over. Cubs ended up winning the game outright, but we had the over 5.5, which ended up being a loss. However, we did win with the first 5 under in the Reds game, the Nationals first half minus a half, and the Cardinals on the money line. So we did sweep the MLB leans, but unfortunately, and the main goal of this channel is to win the play of the day, which we were unable to do. So apologies there, but we look to bounce back today with another baseball play on Wednesday. And we're going to be looking at an interleague matchup between the Cleveland Indians and the New York Mets. And the play that we like is going to be on the over 9, which is available at minus 113 at 5 dimes. Now, the pitching matchup for this game will be between Marcus Stroman and Adam Plutko. Plutko 5-3 with a 4.67 ERA, and Stroman is 1-0 with a 5.17 ERA with the Mets. Of course, everyone knows him as being the big acquisition that the Mets made at the trade deadline. However, if you've actually looked at Stroman's numbers since joining the Mets, really not that impressive. In total, he has gone 15 2/3 and has given up 9 earned runs, and that brings up an ERA of 5.17. In his only home start with the Mets, he went 6 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. His last start, he went 5 2. He went 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs, 2 of them being earned. And each of the 3 games that Stroman has pitched for the Mets, you've had at least 12 total runs in each of those games. So Stroman has been pitching a little bit spotty, and he has also received a ton of run support, which should bode well for the over. Meanwhile, Plutko, on the other hand, has been okay so far this season. He's done a pretty decent job stepping up, as the rest of the Indian starters have had to do with Kluber being on the IL for the last couple of months. However, on the road, he does have a 5.29 ERA, and I question his effectiveness in this game. Plus, a huge reason why money is coming on the over in this is due to the weather. Tons of weather blowing out directly to center field. You have roughly 12-mile-an-hour winds that will be taking place going straight to center field for the entirety of this game. Based on how Stroman's recent games have gone, how Plutko has performed recently, I will lean to the over 9 on that one. I expect this line to continue jumping, but two out of the 3 starts that Plutko's made in August have totaled at least 9 runs. His last start against the Yankees ended up being 19-5. I simply think that both pitchers have been getting a decent amount of run support lately, and I don't really trust Stroman in this spot. I think that he's been very underwhelming with the Mets, but it has been hard to notice as the Mets put up a ton of runs on his behalf. Mets have also scored at least 9 runs in 2 of their last 3 games. The Indians' bats have been struggling a little bit, but Stroman has been unable to get out of the 6th inning with the Mets, and I do not trust this Mets bullpen at all. I think the Indians should score at least 4 runs. I think the Mets should score at least 5 or 6 runs, and I think this game will go over the posted total at 9. I would recommend taking this now. It's already gone up to 9.5 at Pinnacle. I'd expect as the game approaches at 7:10 Eastern Time, you will see a decent amount more money on the over. I think this will close at 9.5. It's already been juiced up to minus 115 in most spots on the over, and it's already been jumped up to 9.5 in some spots before buyback on the over. So at minus 113 here at over 9, I think you are getting good value, as this will probably close at over 9.5 right before first pitch. So the play of the day will be on the Mets and Indians over 9, which is available at minus 113 at 5 dimes. Quick question from Sam. Do I like the under with Darvish? I actually wrote an article about that game for StatSalt.com, so I have already gone through all the information on that one. I do like the under in that one with Rodriguez versus Darvish on the mound. Both of them are coming in off of extremely impressive starts. Rodriguez and Darvish in their last respective starts went 7 innings and gave up no runs. Plus, wind will be blowing in at roughly 8 miles an hour from left to right. So I definitely think that you should see less runs. Darvish is always inconsistent, but at the same point, in the month of August, he has a 2.5 ERA, so he has looked really solid lately. And the Giants, I know that they went on a little push for about a month or so in June or July. I don't really remember which one, but either or, the team can hit. They scored 3 runs yesterday. The wind was blowing out. They only totaled 8 runs. The Cubs bullpen, props to Kimbrel, he actually looked decent for the first time all season. I'll lean to the under there. I think there's reason why money has come in slightly on the under in that one, as I personally think that 9 is a bit too high. Money has overall come in on the under. It's down to -110, -115 in most spots. I would recommend taking the under in that, as I would expect to see it somewhere in the realm of what we saw yesterday, in a 5-3, maybe even a 4-3 type of game. Because I actually do like Rodriguez, and I know that he was sent to the minors during the middle of the season for struggling, but he ended up coming back and performed well. I like him as a pitcher. I think Darvish has definitely looked better over the last couple of starts, so I will lean to the under 9 on that one. Other than that, though, a couple of other leans to look at. What do I like here? Well, first of all, great jokes if you like the Astros at -555. I think that they'll win, but that's just funny. That's probably the biggest price I've seen in the MLB card today with Verlander against Norris. No comment on that one. I'm not going to touch that at all. I'll lean to the A's, actually, in their matchup against the Yankees. Not a big J. Happ guy. Mike Fiers has been fantastic since throwing that no-hitter back in, I believe it was late April, early May. He's been really good. Yankees bats went ice cold yesterday. Judge finally pulled his first home run of the season. Congratulations. Still lost. Oakland's been really good at home. And New York, I know as a Yankees fan from recent history that this team tends to struggle whenever they travel to the West Coast in any of these August road trips to California. I expect Oakland to win. I think there's a reason why money's coming slightly on Oakland. Lean to Oakland on the money line at -113, which is available at Intertops. I think Oakland should get the job done this one, and I expect Happ to struggle in this start. And the last lean I'll give out on the baseball card, I will lean to the Nationals first 5 minus a half with Corbin versus Musgrove. Musgrove has been very hit or miss so far this season. He had a good start in his last appearance, but overall he has not been great. And Corbin's actually been one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball season long. He's been fantastic with a 9-5 record. I think he will pitch well once again. We were right about the game yesterday. Try to avoid the Nationals bullpen at all costs. They ended up choking away a win yesterday, but Strasburg was fantastic. I don't really like Pittsburgh's lineup. I think that besides Bell and let me actually look through the projected lineup for Pittsburgh. I think that besides Bell and Marte and maybe a little bit of Reynolds here and there, I'm not really impressed with their lineup from 1 to 9. Meanwhile, the Nationals, I have been impressed with their lineup lately with Turner, Eaton, Rendon, Soto, Cabrera, Adams, Suzuki, Robles, and even Corbin, who can hit a little bit for a pitcher. I think that the Nationals at -0.5 in the first 5 at -105 is a great deal, and that will be the third lean on the MLB card. However, the play of the day will be on the over 9 between the Mets and the Indians, and that's available at over 9 at -113 at 5 times. Now, before we conclude today's video, quick reminder of our sponsor, PointsBet. All sports in New Jersey, a couple of great deals for you. Up to 2 risk-free bets up to $1,000. You're betting on any sport and you lose, you simply get your money back, which is a great promotion, especially with college football right around the corner, as that will start on Saturday, and I'm absolutely pumped for that. Other than that, though, that's going to do over this installment of Scott Selections here for Wednesday, August 21st. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.